If they're caught, they're going to be killed. They're not going to be going to jail. The prime example, SWAT would not be going in one person with the shield. If SWAT was going to go in, we're going to dominate that room. I always like being a jerk and setting off the alarms so the police get there. All right, we got a little GTA 5 jewel heist. I remember this particular heist. I actually did it myself playing GTA 5. It's kind of one of the cool ones. So what's interesting is that with the different glasses that are out there these days, you could actually walk into a bank, a jewelry store, and take pictures with your glasses. So that's realistic these days. I don't know about the whole parkour stuff. I mean, maybe not. Definitely not this old guy doing it. Maybe some younger people doing it. But you know, parkour does exist. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sure there are people that have used parkour to get away with some crimes. But so this type of planning actually would be real realistic. I mean, if you're going to go do a major jewelry heist where you know there's some high dollar amounts, and if you look at it, GTA 5 is really kind of taking place in Los Angeles. This jewelry store would be in Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills. So we know that it's going to be some high value targets. So this would be really planned out to this degree. What I really appreciate about the GTA 5 series and like this heist is it's supposed to be some professionalism, some decorum amongst the thieves, where they're not here to really take lives. They're here to just get the money and not hurt anyone, so that's why they're going to put gas inside. Now, that thing about the gas part, that would be really difficult in getting the gas that's going to knock everybody out. I've never seen that really happen in real life. Now, we did have an incident like this happen in Russia, where there was a terrorist takeover or a hostage takeover at a theater, I believe, and they used gas to knock everybody out, and some people died because of, you know, the fact that we're talking about oxygen levels and so forth like that. So that part is unrealistic on this part, but everything else, not so bad. Yes, typical smash and grab. Let's just get all what we can. You're only going to have the alarm for so long, so you got to get in and out. I played this before. This is a pretty realistic scenario. Smash and grab, minus the people being unconscious. Pretty realistic. Now they're going to try to get out of there before the cops get there. And here's the motorcycles would be a great option on this getaway because they just have the maneuverability. But I'm going to put this one at the top right now for our ranking as most realistic. Oh, okay. This is actually one of my favorite games, Little Red Dead 2. I really can't comment on how the police would have been patrolling back then. In this game, they also have the Pinkertons, which was the private security force that a lot of big businesses used. Pinkertons were considered a very corrupt organization, basically bounty hunters. I always joke around on this part is they were innovators because they were already wearing masks pre-COVID, so they were already good to go. Little warning shot there. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. You know, I mean, they'd have to have the combination, but it was an art that there was actually bank robbers that knew how to field it. I don't know exactly what they were feeling, but they knew it. Now, the fortunate part, now, on this particular episode, it's not so true, or this particular mission, but there's only so many cops back then in these small towns, so all you had to do was defeat maybe a couple of people, and you were good to go. It wasn't going to be like an army today, but see, these are the Pinkertons, actually. These aren't even cops out there. Back then, I can definitely see something like this happening where they would have shot their friend to try to get them to come out, and then it would be the gunfight. And it's pretty much, these guys, if they're caught, they're going to be killed. They're not going to be going to jail. They're not going to be tried or anything like that. They're going to be, for all intents and purposes, shot and killed on the spot. So I actually like this because it's just like, let's get out the back way, put a little explosive, let's get out, and yeah, let's get out of there. And it's quite interesting how they saw the Pinkertons as a law when Pinkertons were really a private security guard company. Pinkerton Security Company is still around today, so but this is actually on bank heist. I could see this being a realistic bank heist back in the 1800s. I would go put this one at the top of our ranking, and followed by GTA 5, and just because this is a little bit more realistic. Okay, it looks like they got some night vision on top of their heads there. This is obviously a GTA 5 heist. I don't know about if a stun gun would actually do that, but this particular scenario, this group would probably have used tranquilizer guns, just because they've always seemed to take people's lives into account. You know, using MVGs, that's what actually would look like. You have the advantage, being able to see everything. This game, doing heists with friends, is actually pretty neat, because you guys all get to do something, and then I always like being a jerk and setting off the alarms so the police get there, and we try to, you know, they're like, who's the one who did it? And I'm like, I stay quiet when playing. I'm like, and then later on they watch the gameplay and they were like, oh, it was you. But that's usually the fun part about this. So yeah, I don't know how heavy like a torch like that would be. I don't even know if a torch exists like that would get that hot without a really big external energy source. But once again, it is GTA 5. It's there to have some fun. If I remember correctly, I think they got to both do something on each side at the same time. Now this is the part that is very unrealistic. There's no way you're carrying that many gold bars out of there. And that's been like probably the biggest thing, is that is a lot of weight. You're dragging that at that point in time. So you maybe carry maybe half a dozen gold bars, but that's some heavy. You're not being you've lost your agility at that point in time. I miss me some good old GTA 5. Supposedly 6 is coming out soon, but I actually now all I want to do is play this game when I get done. I love the fact that there's a police helicopter sitting there all ready for them. No one would ever land a helicopter and then leave it there unattended. So helicopter would land back at the helipad, but not right there at the crime scene for us. Where do we rate this? I'm going to put this on number 3, below the other GTA. So our buddies over at Red Dead are still looking as the hot contenders for realism. Payday usually has their little things that you have to complete to get the mission. So now we're going live. Yeah, police would be coming. I mean, the 911 would be blowing up right about this point in time, so you're going to get everyone responding to this. Yeah, and that's part there too. When you watch it, it's like, oh, all of a sudden we got a awesome drill that just appeared out of nowhere. See, that would be interesting, because if you look at some of the tactical player games that are out there, they now are adding weight, so you can't just carry in 100 magazines. You got to pick and choose your weapon. So that would be actually kind of neat for the game developers that are doing these games, where that tech exists. However, what can you truly carry? That would be actually pretty neat to see, because then you'd have choices to make. Do I get to carry ammo, or do I only get to carry the drill that's going to unlock the big safe? Yeah, see, at this point in time, cops are not going to, first of all, we're not going to just be sitting there being cannon fodder. We're going to surround the place. We're going to be taking cover. You're not going to be out there in the open. I mean, this is just basic law enforcement stuff that's taught like on day 1 of the academy. Yeah, and SWAT like that, like a prime example, SWAT would not be going in one person with the shield. If SWAT was going to go in, we're going to dominate that room. You're going to get a stick of guys, you know, at least 10 deep that are going to, you know, that are going to try to neutralize you, and they're going to do a lot of other things before they get into that room, but they're going to definitely not be sitting there going one at a time, so they could be, you know, get sniped by the bad guys. Obviously, this is just fun gameplay. Just like, hey, let's wreak as much havoc as we possibly can, but there is not 1 ounce of actual realistic police game, blah, blah. This is 100% Hollywood. This is 100. This is actually going to be at the bottom of our list. Yeah, first aid kits laying around. Yeah, taking in 100 bullets. Yeah, not so much. But like I said, I play this game. I appreciate the doing a good heist and wiping out a whole barrage of corrupt police officers. 'Cause that's what I understand is going on here on this particular thing. Yeah, they're gonna get the money to the van so they can get the heck out of there. Yeah, at this point in time, once guns were fired and so forth like that, no one's bringing a taser to the gunfight. We're going to be bringing lethal weapons in. On our scale of realistic, this is at the very bottom. I wouldn't even put it on the list out. That's how bad it is. I don't think I've ever played GTA 4. That looks like the way I drive. Oh yeah, someone would already, given that much time, somebody would have hit the alarm. But also, too, at the same token, bank staff have been told to cooperate with bank robbers with guns. she would open the door. Maybe she would have frozen from being in fear. Don't get me wrong. You know, that would be something very traumatizing to somebody, but someone would have definitely opened that door for them. So, yeah, this would be the scary part, that someone could be armed, that is a, you know, a civilian, and think that they are, you know, gonna do something here and cause everyone else to get hurt. It's like we tell people, just go with it. It's not your money. It's the bank's money. It's insured money. Cooperate. Most of these people want in and out because they don't want to hurt anyone, because they know if they do hurt somebody that they're going to go to prison for a very, very long time if they are caught. So this actual part would be the realistic part. This is where surround the place, get SWAT in there, let SWAT do their thing. They would cover all four corners of that place. Because it is a bank, feds may now even get involved if it's downtown. We got them there, so now it's just a matter of negotiating to get them to give up. But them coming out like that in a firefight. Now, 20 years ago, North Hollywood, you can have that scenario where they're going to get past all that. But not today. Not with the way cops are armed today. Yeah, helicopters in the air. They're going to spot you. You're killing civilians like this. Yeah. So on this one, actually, what's interesting is they would not be guilty of vehicular manslaughter. They would be guilty of murder, because of the simple fact that when you commit a felony and someone dies in commission of that felony, you're charged with murder. So they would be charged with many, many counts of murder. Even amongst themselves. Let's say you have two bank robbers and one of them gets killed doing the bank robbery. The other bank robber will be charged with murder just as well, because it applies to them as well. I put it above the jewelry heist. So right below number 1, it'll be our new number 2. A Little Red Dead 2 again. Gotta love Arthur. Oh, the old train robbery. I like the train robbery. I think I failed it a few times when I first played it. What amazes me, this is what amazes, that actually guys on horses were able to commit train robberies. Like, why didn't the train just keep going? You know, it's like utterly amazing that these really happened. If I remember correctly, it's not going to explode, so they're not going to be able to get the train to, and then they have to go after it. Actually, this was the way they used to do it, was blow up a section of the track, forcing the train to stop, and then taking it over. But don't get me wrong, there were plenty of instances where they would just keep riding and get onto the train and go from car to car to car. So they would have to know that bridge was there to make that jump like that from that tunnel. Like, supposedly this type of stuff happened, you know. That's the ironic part. And then now what they would do is they would just basically either jump from car to car on the top, or head through there like they're doing, take out anybody that needs to be taken out, and get to the conductor, pull that brake, and finish their robbery. I mean, trains are only going to only have so much security. And I think there's something in the last car, if I remember. Oh, yeah, there is. See? Now, see, this part, I don't know how realistic it would be, because it's been reinforced metal, and they have slats, and they have the advantage to be able to shoot the people around them. So I don't quite know if they would truly give up as quick as they did at this point in time. I would think that they would have tried to fight back. Now, blowing up the door, that's something different, but they could have shot them while they were, while they were walking up. I would imagine that these type of cars did exist among the rich, having their own car and stuff like that. And I mean, it makes sense. I'm going to put this one as a number 3 for realism. And that just goes based upon like the history of what I know about how bank and train robberies went back in the 1800s. So they had to be pretty glorified, to do stuff like this. Hey everybody, it's been fun. Until next time, this is Chris the Cop reminding all of you, peace. If you want to see more smack talking about video games, you're going to definitely want to follow Experts React and see other experts like me talk about the games that they're experts on, and you can do that on both Facebook and YouTube. You can check out my smack talking at Chris the Cop. Hey everybody, it's been fun. Until next time,